Technology, technology. Welcome. It is on. It is recording. I got the red light. Thank
Yay.
you. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Producers Lounge. I'm Cheryl Ann. This is Female Filmmaker Friday. I am joined by the beautiful and talented Miss Mary Beth Eversole. Welcome, Mary Beth.
Hi. Yay.
What you guys need to know is this whole conversation is about pivoting in pandemic, post-pandemic. And Mary Beth and I have persevered through some technical challenges, but it's working now. Enough of me, more of you, Mary Beth. Would you please tell the Producers Lounge here on Stage 32, how did you get into producing and what did you have to do to pivot post-pandemic or working in the pandemic?
Sure. Let me preface by saying, up until very recently, I did not think of myself as a producer, even though I was producing a lot of things. So I still have days where I'm like, I don't know if I can put that label on me. Like director, I'm starting to say, okay, yes. Writer for sure. Actress, most definitely. But honestly, I have been producing. I've been producing since Allergy Actress Cooking, which was, back in 2016. And
yeah.
And that's on YouTube, and it's like, and I produced that whole thing, like, and I just didn't acknowledge it. And it was when so I think what made me feel like I wasn't a producer was when I wrote my TV series, my limited TV series, Invisible Wounds. I have this beautiful script for these 6 episodes about trauma and healing from trauma and going inside the mind in a really cinematic way to show what it feels like and looks like in someone's head to be traumatized and how people heal from that. And I tried to get it made. I tried to make the pilot. And I went into it thinking, because I had a lot of people be like, oh, yes, this is great. I would help you, and I did. I had a lot of help. But I had a lot of people that said that they were producers or like knew what they were doing. And it turns out that they didn't know what they were doing. And I ended up, raising a lot of money and crowdfunding and then using that money to pay those people that didn't know what they were doing. And I didn't know any better, and so that made me think, okay, I'm not a producer. I don't understand this. And I shied away from it for a long time. And then moving back to Colorado, we were in Los Angeles for 6 years and now I'm here in Colorado, and being around this community, everyone around here is a producer, a director, an actor, like everyone does everything. And they call themselves that and they actually follow through with it. And like seeing that kind of gave me the confidence to be like, okay, I am a producer and I'm learning so much. And I got some books and I'm learning from mentors, and like, turns out I am a producer. And I while I felt like I was the blind leading the blind and somewhat in the dark, I was doing the things, like I was taking the steps. And that brings me to this last year, the pandemic. Talk about the blind leading the blind. I mean,
like the Zoom leading the Zoom.
So I feel lucky because I am also a coach. I'm a voice, piano, and acting coach. I've been teaching online for 10 years. So the pivoting to online wasn't as big of a stress for me. It wasn't as big of a learning curve. And I'll use an example. I was teaching a group class last year called Let's Shoot a Short Film, where we were going to teach people how to use the equipment, and we were going to teach the casting process and cast and actually shoot a short film with this class in person. And then the pandemic hit about a month before this class was supposed to happen. Everybody was already signed up. So my co-teacher and I, we came together and we were like, how do we pivot? How do we make this work? And we ended up making it so that we were coaching and directing via Zoom in each person's house. We had runners take our equipment to their house and sanitize in between, all that stuff. And then we taught, my co-teacher taught them how to set up the equipment. And then I directed them on, here, sit here, set this light here, run this line this way, and they were going off their iPhones, everybody's little individual iPhones. And through that, I mean, we produced that, right? I directed, we produced, I wrote the script, we taught them how to do it. And from that, we're in a film festival from that,
Yes!
Yeah, I think yeah, that with the experience I had of getting totally burned with invisible wounds, and then coming back and being like, I can't give up on this project because it's my life project. And then having these small little projects through the pandemic, really, and realizing if I can direct through Zoom, I can produce this, like I can do
Yes.
this. And that's the pandemic really kind of taught me, like, okay, I can do this. And it also taught me that it takes a village, and you have to surround yourself with a team that you trust, and a team that will get the job done. And you don't have to be like on top of them, like, did you do this? Did you do, and that took me a very long time to find my people. Especially in a larger city like Los Angeles, it's really easy to get
Mm.
to think you have found someone, and then they're not who they said they were. And that happened to me a few times. And then I just became really wary. And then I gave up almost a little bit. And then I was like, that drive within me to get these stories out, I was like, I can't give up, And so then I was doing it by myself. And then I was like, I don't want to do this by myself. And I went back to like, let me find the people that I trust. Let me get to know people in the film community and surround myself with people. Let me work on their sets. Let me see what they're doing. And through that process, I've started to build a team that I really trust. And now I feel like I can be a producer. So,
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love what you shared. And so much of what you shared is exactly what Stage 32 is about, is finding your tribe, connecting, networking, building a team, establishing relationship. And it sounds like you found that there in Colorado.
yeah, I found it in Colorado, and it's interesting because through my Colorado people, because like even when I was in LA, I came from Colorado before that, and I had contacts with the Colorado community here. Went to LA. A lot of people moved from Colorado to LA, so then we had our little group out there, and since coming back, now I have LA contacts through my Colorado people, and it's like, so now I've got this tribe where like I feel like if I go there, I've got people. If I come here, I've got people, even New Mexico. If I go to New Mexico, I feel like I've got people, um and and one of the biggest things is you just got to stay in touch, you even if it's just to say, hey,
Yes.
how you doing? Hey, I saw your project recently. It was awesome. So good to chat with you again, like even you and me, we hadn't talked in a little bit. I follow you on Facebook, but you reached out and I was like, oh, heck yeah. Yes.
Thank
So
you for sharing.
yeah.
I'm going to make sure, just so you know, Producers Lounge, all of Mary Beth's contact, the details will be below in the description. And I love seeing those little clips on Instagram of what you've been working on.
Yeah.
So I just have to ask you one more question, and
Sure.
you've already led up to it. For all of our new creators, storytellers, producers, directors, actors, here in the Producing Lounge, if you had a word of wisdom, sage advice, what would you tell them?
Surround yourself with a team that you trust. Get to know people, work on their sets, invite them to work on your set, get to know people, and just surround yourself with a group of people that you love working with, that you can trust, that you can do project after project, because that's when it happens. So,
Oh, that
yeah.
is wisdom right there. So, from our cameras to yours in the Producers Lounge, there is the meat right there. Surround yourself with people that you trust, build out your network. Hey, Mary Beth, can I ask you one more thing?
Yes.
Thank you. If there was any comfort food that you were going to go to after the hard day on the set, long writing session, long rehearsals, what's the comfort food that just ministers to you?
Oh, it's macaroni and cheese.
Oh my gosh,
Hands
I
down.
love macaroni and cheese. But I put jalapeno in mine. Do you?
No, I'm in the Midwest. We're like not spicy at all. So just straight up cheese for me. So
Spicy, spicy, spicy. Everything that you need to get in contact with Mary Beth Eversole, actress, producer, writer, coach, is going to be below in the description. Mary Beth, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, your wisdom, your experience with Stage 32 Producers Lounge.
yes, thank you for having me.
All right, keep creating. I look forward to seeing more from you.
Thanks.
Bye bye.